video, I'm going to be reviewing JumpStory, but with a twist. You see, I like to do it from your perspective, from the customer's perspective. So it will be from logging in and seeing everything for the first time. How easy, how fast, how comfortable, how quick am I going to pick up this software? Okay, it's all good, watching a review video where the person has already used it 1,000,001 times, but the reality of it is that we're using these softwares to achieve a result, and often we want to get these results as fast as possible. So if you're logging in and trying this software, I want to know what it's like from a realistic perspective, then stay tuned. So what is JumpStory and why are people raving about it right now? Well, JumpStory actually allows you to find the perfect sort of images using AI technology. And although it seems very reasonably priced, but we're going to actually see if it is down the line. They also offer a free 30-day trial, which you can click the link in my description and it will take you there. But some of the things that I am specifically interested in, and the things that are clearly making it stand out and the thing that people are raving about, are these two things here, which is AI search engine and high jumper. And if you click on the videos, they do show you videos, but just to summarize what these two actually mean, AI search engine is where you can type in something about a dog. So if you're a dog blogger, for example, or a business in recruitment or anything on those lines, you can type in keywords. So, for example, if you talk about a blog, my Labrador loves biscuits, loves Royal Canine biscuits and stuff like that, and it should, in theory, pick up those keywords and match you very quickly with pictures of Labradors or pictures of biscuits. So as you can imagine, if you're a blogger, you no longer need to spend a ton of time trying to find the best images and then seeing if you can get royalty free on them, and this software should automatically do that for you. And the second one, which is also really exciting, is it's all good having pictures, but if those pictures aren't going to engage people and encourage them to either emotionally relate to your blog or the image itself or get click-throughs, then really they're not the right sort of images for you. So High Jumper does just that, which is it will highlight, apparently, all of the images which have the highest potential of people clicking on it or engagement or anything on those lines, which of course makes your blog a lot more focused. And if you're sharing it on social media and stuff like that, then you're going to get an increase in click-through rates. Okay. So that are two very exciting features, and AI is becoming a more common thing in softwares these days. So it's exciting to start seeing this sort of functionality. And what you can see is just some testimonials, and then all of basically the generic stuff, which is what you want to see on a website anyway. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead, quickly pause this video and go ahead and start a 30-day free trial. And if you want to do this with me, go ahead and click the link in my description and do it with me. Alright, so I am actually on the registration page, and I do think it's important to say that they give you a free 30-day trial, but they do force you to enter some card details or your PayPal account for an additional commitment, I guess, on your side, so you're not just logging in, abusing the system. I'm personally not always happy with these sort of things to do when I need to put in my card details, but I completely understand why businesses do it. So either way, don't be surprised if you come here and you see that you need to put in your information. And don't forget, you can, of course, cancel it down the line by either sending them an email or if you're doing it by PayPal, head over to your PayPal account and click that cancel button if that's what you need to do. They're not going to charge you until your trial's up, and if you cancel before your trial, then they're still not going to charge you. So let me go ahead, sort all of this out, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, so I've now subscribed to the software, and I hopefully should just be able to log in now. So I'm going to go ahead and enter my information, and let's see if I get straight away access. Alright, so I have successfully logged in, and don't forget my payment details are still in, so it is important that if you don't enjoy the software at any point to cancel it before, but if you do cancel it, I suspect you're going to lose access to the platform. And again, it's also a very it's a great way for software companies to just protect their softwares by doing it this way. But yeah, so here we are, and this is what it looks like. I can also see that the domain name has changed to universe.jumpstory.com. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to make my camera a little smaller and just, let's do this together. So browse 30 categories, inspire me. We've got normal search, so use one or more keywords to search on 10 million plus visuals. So that's quite cool, 10 million plus visuals. I wonder what that's about, if they've just connected to Google's image library or something along those lines. Not sure, but either way, still good to have that many. Haven't found what you're looking for, let us do all the searching. So search help, text match. Okay, so I think this is one of the ones that I actually want to start playing around with. High jumper, great. Okay, so what's nice is that there's actually not much you can press on from the very start. So you've got your navigation bar, normal search, categories, text match, which is in beta, and archive, and then you've got your account here. And yeah, okay, so I think the first thing I'm going to do is the normal search. So let's go ahead and have a look. So instantly, which is nice, what's quite nice is that they've instead of just using text, they're actually using imagery to display what sort of imagery. And I know it is about the keywords, so that's quite nice. So what are you looking for today? Search above or get inspired. So we've got animals, art, building, crime, and you know what? I like animals, well, I like dogs, and I'm going to go with animals. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, cool. So that was quite fast. It wasn't like lightning fast, but considering there's 18,198 pictures in this category, that was pretty nice and fast. Let's just go back and have another look and see how fast that is. Let's click on it again. So yeah, it is pretty fast, and that's exactly what you want when you're trying to achieve something. You just want lightning fast results. And if you've ever watched any of my previous review videos, you'll know that I really get a kick out of results. Now, another thing, just before I carry on, I have already been in touch with their customer support, and again, they replied within 12 hours. And for me, anything under 24 hours is fantastic customer support, and anything under 12 hours is good job. Okay, so the customer support is pretty good, and you've always got this here, so that's cool. So let's just minimize that. Okay, so how does this work? Let's click on this, and if we click on it, we can see the size is 1080. So it's nice that they actually tell you the size, and then you can add it to your archive or download it. Let's go ahead and download it and see how that works. Boom. Well, that was no faffing. Let's just open it. Let's close this. Get this over. Okay, so you can see that's now been opened, and yeah. I mean, there's not really much more you can say about these sort of things, is there? But yeah, that's been opened. The download button is fairly straightforward. I don't think it's the prettiest of designs, if I'm going to be honest. But at the end of the day, if it works, it works, and that worked. We downloaded it, clicked on the image, boom, we got the image. And what more could you actually ask for? So let's click the Add to Archive button. And oh, this is cool. So now we're adding it to the archive, and we can edit the image, optimize for web, or remove background. So that's some really interesting functionality. I didn't even expect to see that. So let's go ahead and edit the image. So how does this work? And again, it's all pretty fast. And so what does this do? So it does basic stuff. So you can write on it, free straight color. So just boom, that's cool. We can do straight. Okay, so that just helps you. Let's go ahead and do text. So if you want to create memes, if you want to create memes of stuff to engage your audience or anything those lines, you can just do that. Let's just change the color to white. Okay, can we change the size? So boom. Can we change it beyond that? Okay, so it's default at 100. And if we just press center. How do we center it? Oh, we click on it. Does that need to be stretched? Okay, not quite sure. Perhaps I'm doing something wrong, but the centering, if it's lots of text, then it's going to center. So let me just show you what I'm talking about. So let's just, okay, so if I now center this, there you go. Can you see it actually works? I thought it was going to center around the actual canvas size. That would be quite cool if you can do that, feature request. But yeah, so that's quite good. You can underline it, and yeah, so great. That's actually really handy to know that you can add text on it and actually edit it before you go live. So that's quite exciting actually. That can save a lot of time, especially if you don't know Photoshop or anything on those lines. That's actually that's a big win in mine. However, I see that we don't have different font families, or perhaps I've just not gotten to it yet, but it would be ideal to have different fonts that we can use. Let's go ahead and click on this. So grayscale. So these are filters. Remove white from distance. And do you know what? That's actually pretty good. You can multiply it and blend it. So again, if you want to get a little bit fancy with it or invert the colors, so to speak, or make something scary like that, you can do that. And you can crop the size. What does this do? Oh, you can flip it. These are really handy little things. So that's cool. Let's go ahead. Oh, so you can actually bin certain things. So if I imagine, let's just reset that. Okay, and now I'm just gonna. Okay, cool. So you can actually delete all, or if you select an element, I imagine, and then click that, it will delete it. And if you make a mistake, cool. Okay. So that's really handy. So I'm just gonna leave it like that, and I'm gonna save and download. So weird English thing going on there, but either way. Now let's show in folder. Let's open that up. There you go. So you've got the edited image just like that. And let's have a look at what optimizing for web is. So click on that. Okay, not lightning fast, still waiting. Okay, considering it was doing a whole bunch of optimization and what's not, and probably reducing it in, it says there reducing it in size, because often if you're going to be using these for your websites and the image is quite a large image, if it's like over a megabyte or even a megabyte, that's still pretty big. And conversions, especially online, is all about speed. So if your website's going slow, then that's not good. So the fact that they're optimizing it and probably making it a little bit smaller, let's go ahead and have a look at how big this image is, the one that we previously. So you can see that this image is just under 1.7 megabytes. And if we go ahead and download this now that it's been optimized, let's go back here. I think it's finished. Properties. And you can see that's now under a megabyte. So that's a really nifty feature to have. Again, I'm actually really impressed by that. And when it was being optimized, that wasn't actually too slow. I've just noticed that this has changed to a different language, I imagine. Not sure. That's a little bit of a glitch, but it's not the end of the world. Let's go ahead and click remove background and see how this plays out. That was pretty awesome. Okay, that's just removed the background, and I'm just going to go ahead and download that again, and I can see it's in a PNG format. And if I go ahead and just close this and throw this in here, you can see this is Photoshop, by the way, and you can see it's a background. So let's go ahead, and if I just put in any sort of background, so I'm just going to put white in, you can see, and that's actually, if you actually zoom in, what you can see is they've captured the hair. Now, if you know anything about background removal, you'll know that some of the hardest images to edit are ones with very fine, loose hair. And you can see, if we zoom in, that they've captured that. You see, what would usually happen is, well, I'll show you. So when you're, if you don't want to spend ages trying to remove a background, I'm just going to, I'm just going to copy and paste this like so. So what you can see is, do you see how all the fine hairs have now kind of vanished on the side? Can you see? So that's quite cool. I don't know if my computer's actually showing properly, but that's quite cool. So yeah, I really like that little feature, and that's basically it. And if you want to delete it from the archive, I imagine you just click that, but I'm not going to because I want to quickly head over to the archive and have a look. Okay, so what it's actually done is it's got all of them there. So that is, you know, I'm actually a little bit speechless with that because that was just so simple. And one of the biggest things, like let's say if you sell stock, if you buy and sell job lots and stuff like that, or you're finding job lots on here, or you just need quick little products, and boom, you type in. Well, do you know what? Let's have a look. So let's say if you sell toys and you just need some generic toy images, boom. Okay, so you would take one of this and let's go ahead and find this. Let's see how it handles this sort of image. So I'm going to go ahead and add to archive because that's what we did last time. And then we're going to go ahead and remove the background. Boom. Okay, so I want to just yeah, so that's actually done a really good job. So you can see that the reason you saw that spiky stuff there is because it's removed the shells. So that was, and if we just go back to my archive, you can see that is a really good cut. And again, let's just quickly remember, I'm reviewing this just so we can, oops, just went out of the software. Where's my folder? Okay, one, Photoshopper, and where did I download that? Show folder. Just throw that in there. Oh, here we go. Okay. And you can see, let's just zoom in again. Yeah, that is a really good cut. Okay. So again, if you don't know how to use Photoshop and you do want to start removing backgrounds and stuff like that, this tool has actually done an exceptional job. That's really exciting. So that's a big thumbs up from me, JumpStory. Really well done. Okay, so that's the normal search. Let's go ahead and do search help and see what this is about. So our head of search has made himself a box a toast and a cup of coffee. It's ready to help you. Just use the form below to describe what kind of photo illustrations you're looking for, inspired, and they'll get back to you within 24 hours. Okay, so that's really cool. So they actually do custom sort of posts. So I imagine, let me just see. Okay, so ideally, let's say you're on Google, okay? You're on Google and you find dogs playing poker, okay? So we go to images. And let's say that you can't find this sort of image anywhere and it's potentially licensed and. So what you'll do is simply save this image, upload it here, contact them, and they'll see if they can actually find a licensed image for you, I imagine, on those lines. And boom, you've got yourself a picture of dogs playing poker. So I quite like that. That's quite good. A lot of software companies don't really do this sort of custom labor sort of thing. So that's quite nice. Let's go to categories now, and I imagine this is virtually the exact same as normal search. So let's just go into art this time. Yeah, exact same with normal search. And the more I actually use this, the more I'm realizing that this is actually a really fast software as well. And I know I said this previously, but it is really important to focus on speed a lot of the time because often speed is the thing that really saves you a lot of time, especially if you're using softwares quite a lot. So if you're a web designer, a web developer, anything like that, graphic artist, or someone who creates videos, anything like that, it's really important that you're able to use software that's just going to work fast so you can get things done faster. And if we orientation, so if we want to filter everything by if it's just landscape or vertical sort of thing, then it does that for you. So you can see if we wanted everything even or this dimension, and that's just been filtered properly. If we do color and we want to just pick black pictures maybe, or any picture that contains black perhaps, yeah, there you go. You can see that that's actually happening. So that's quite cool. And you can see it actually filters really fast as well. Let's go ahead and see vectors. And it's quite nice that they offer vector images, and if those of you who don't really know what the purpose of vector is, it's basically so, let's say you're designing all sorts of banners and posters and you put one of these vector images on it, and it doesn't really matter how big or how small that poster is, the quality of that image is going to remain the same, so you're never going to have to deal with pixelated stuff. So that's pretty cool. Now let's get to the bit that I really wanted to try out from the beginning of this, and that's called text match. Okay, so how does this work? Welcome to JumpStory's AI text match. Please insert your text in the box below. This function is still in beta mode and will continue to improve the search results in the weeks ahead. Remember not to click on match now until you have inserted your text. Now, another thing just to remember about AI sort of technology is that it's still developing. Okay, so we're still at the near beginning of AI incorporated into softwares and stuff. It's not quite there, and that's not just because of JumpStory or anything. It's just not 100% accurate yet, but it will be, and it's getting so good. I've got some review videos about some other software that uses AI, and it's really cool. I'll leave a link in the description for you. But yeah, this looks really cool, and yeah, let's go ahead. So let's go ahead and go over to one of my really crappy blog sites, Puzzle Dog Toys, I think it's called. Actually, no. I can't remember the domain name because I do lots of things. So I'm just going to go to my website, and I'm going to go ahead and let's go ahead and go into how to optimize a YouTube video. Okay, let's see how it copes with this. So one of my blogs, and it's better to have 10 views. And okay, so let's go ahead. And this is probably a little bit more complicated in terms of text and being able to find relatable images than it would be with something like dogs. But let's go ahead and see how this works. I'm just going to paste that in and match now. So that's quite cool. Instantly, you saw how fast that was. It's instantly found YouTube videos. Let's just keep scrolling and just remember what was in there. So it's important to remember it's better to have 10 views with a 10% conversion rate than it is 100,000 views. So we're talking about conversion rates, okay? Millions, optimize YouTube tips, okay? YouTube gurus and stuff like that, okay? So millions and stuff like that, I guess you can consider that. Let's carry on. Okay. So it's really only found YouTube stuff, but again, like I said, it is difficult. So let's go ahead and just find a dog blog because it might be a little bit, it might find stuff about dogs, and let's see how focused it is. Oh, this is a rescue dog. Let's go ahead. No, that's another bloody, okay, well, dogs, just something. Free advertising for dog bloggers. I heart dogs. Okay, here we go. What's this? Wow, it's difficult finding a dog blog. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to one of my side websites. Okay, I'm going to go to one of the blogs. Is white dog poop dangerous? Okay, here we go. So let's go ahead and pick all of this. Just this first paragraph, and this is talk about dog poo. Okay, so let's go back to text match and paste this in there. Match now. Okay, we've got dog poop, and I think that's kind of white. We've got dog pooing. We've got more poo. We've got relatable images. And another thing, oh, that's an interesting one. I bet you didn't think you'll be looking at dog poo today. But so what's actually interesting is you'll notice that on some of the images, you've got a little icon in the right-hand corner, and this is the high jumper image. So their description is, this means our AI has analyzed that the image will perform better than the majority of images within this collection of images. And what's quite interesting is that, and it is a known fact online, if you want to go ahead and type this in to see if I'm talking BS or not, is that infographic or cartoon style images do tend to perform better than just general images. So I think the best sort of images are images with people in it, happy, smiling, or something on those lines. And then you've got infographics, and you've got cartoon sort of images. Okay, and now you've also got this. So this will perform better. This one will. This one sparks curiosity and a little bit of cuteness. What's going on here? Sort of thing. Scroll down. This one is kind of like, whoa, stop. What's going on? Danger, sort of thing. Is there danger? So that's quite cool, and so it relates. Now, I have a feeling perhaps I shouldn't be inserting so much text there. So let's say you're in the, let's go into more of a business style sort of thing. To fix let's say you're a plumber, to fix a toilet, you will need to unscrew the pipes in behind the, I don't know, I'm just going to go with sink. I know it makes no sense, but I'm just going to, because I know nothing about DIY stuff. So now we can see, you saw the sentence we just typed in, and the AI has picked up relatable images all about pipes and toilets and sinks. You can see the sink. So it's actually matched everything. So if you're a plumber and you're creating a blog all about toilets or sinks, or you run a plumbing blog, so to speak, or you're a lead generation company running things for plumbers or any industry type, boom, you've now got fantastic little images, and you can see that this image will get likelihood more traction, this one will get more traction, this one will get more traction, and you can actually tell by the style of images it's picking that it looks fairly accurate. Well, it does for me. I play around with, one of the biggest things that I like to focus on isn't getting mass numbers, it's making sure I get quality numbers that are always going to convert with things. So, making sure I would much prefer to work less by creating high quality stuff than, just always looking for tons and tons of numbers. So instead of getting one conversion every 100 people, I prefer to get one conversion in every 10 people, or in a lot of the other stuff that I do is actually 1 in 3 people. So making sure you've got engaging and enticing imagery to get those click-throughs for anything you do is really, really important. And I think JumpStory clearly know this, because they won't be recommending this sort of functionality if they didn't. Okay, so that's really nice to know. And I imagine, it's not a fact, but I imagine they're probably going to be releasing, it'll just make sense to do video sort of, maybe a side thing, or video sort of software, so you can create slideshows and stuff like that about blog articles. That will be a really nice evolution of this. But yeah, so that's actually everything. So let's just I want to make sure I've not missed anything. And remember, I have never logged into this. I literally created a account on video. I didn't explore it. I've not paused the video or anything. I've just logged in, and with absolute ease, with absolute simplicity, I have, been using the software as if I've been using it for years. So is there going to be any sort of learning curve for this software? No. There is no learning curve. If you've ever been on Instagram, or if you've ever, been on Unsplash or Pexels or any of these image or Shutterstock and whatnot, you'll see that they've actually got more things all over the place, which actually increases the learning curve. But this is just super simple, and I think it was $25 a month or something on those lines. That's not bad, That's, you get all of this in all different dimensions, sizes. You can filter it. You get vectors with it and illustrations. Let's have a look at the illustrations. It's actually pretty good, and this AI thing is going to save you so much time, because they will actually suggest things that you don't even think. So what this software has ultimately done is a few things. Number one, providing you with images which you're allowed to use for commercial purposes. Number two, taking away the need to search left, right, and center, and also then search if it is, you can use it for free. And they also associate the words to your text, so it's associate the images with your text, so it's all very, very relevant. And then the final thing is they take away that need for constant testing of images because they're telling you what is likely going to have the highest sort of engagement. Yeah, so I'm actually happy with JumpStory. I think they've done a great job. I would absolutely love it if they worked on the interface a little bit. But in terms of functionality and what you would actually want the software to do, I'll probably give it a 10. Design-wise, I'll probably give it maybe a 6 or 7. I like this bit, but not really keen of like all the fonts and everything. But again, very pedantic stuff from me, and I'm sure they're going to continue to develop because any legitimate and focused organization does that anyway. So yeah, thanks JumpStory, and if you have any questions or anything like that, please feel free to leave a comment below. Make sure you subscribe for more videos like this, and also if you use my link to purchase this software, have a look in the description for bonus content, okay? Because I tend to give my viewers and my subscribers bonus content when they help me out by purchasing softwares through the links that I provide, because that's how I make a living. So thanks again, and until next time.